I'm at Mama's Happy today, one of my very favorite places. It actually makes me happy. And I'm with Amanda Fisick, who is the owner, and we are going to do a fun project, a lamp reboot, if you will, right?
We are.
Take me through what we're going to do here, because I kind of have a clue, but I want to just see it all.
Well, sometimes it happens that you've got a lamp in your own home that maybe just doesn't match your decor anymore. Sometimes you're out garage sailing. These are things you can find for dirt cheap because people think, well, if it's out of style, nobody's going to want this anymore. Right. But really, it takes so little to bring it into your current style of your home.
I love the shape of this lamp.
I love the shape of this lamp too. And actually, a funny story, this lamp was brass. Okay, so you can imagine bright, shiny brass. And we...
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, it was not lovely.
Okay.
It was my mother-in-law's.
I hope she's not watching.
We first painted it, I'm sure she is watching. We first spray painted it with an oil rub bronze a few years ago. Now I'm kind of tired of that look, so we're going to try something different.
Sounds good. All right, what are we going to do to this?
Okay, so we're going to start with, this is the line of paint that we love to work with. It's Annie Sloan chalk paint.
Yes.
The beauty of it is that you don't have to do any priming or sanding or preparation. So with the spray paint, you know, if you scratch on it or something, it's going to come right off.
Okay.
With Annie Sloan chalk paint, it bonds to whatever is on there. So you can see that this is what we started with, the spray painted version, and under that you can see a little bit of the bronze or the old brassy. Okay, so then we're going to just take a little bit of paint, and I like to take my paint out of the can and then put the lid back on the can and pour some paint into a little mixing bowl.
This is really handy. So you put the
So
paint in
handy.
squeeze bottles.
Yes.
Does it keep then? It's just fine?
It absolutely keeps. It makes cleanup so much easier, and you can get exactly what you want. You're not then trying to clean up the can and get all the excess. You waste a lot less paint that way too.
Good.
So these are fabulous. Okay, so we're just gonna load up our paintbrush and start working it on that lamp. And you don't even have to worry about how you're putting it on. Now, if you are like us, we like kind of the textured look, so we'll definitely put a second coat on here.
Okay.
If you're somebody that says, I don't like all that going on, I want it nice and smooth like spray paint looks, then I would just have a separate dish here with some water.
Okay.
Dip your brush in water every once in a while, and then it's going to go on a lot smoother. You won't see all the brush strokes going on.
Makes sense.
Okay? All right, so voila. Look, our paint is dry.
Okay.
Okay, so the next step is to finish your paint, which is done with a soft wax, and Annie Sloan's paint is kind of a two-part system. So you paint and then you seal that with the wax.
And you have to use the wax.
You definitely want to use the wax. Yep, it has, you can see that it has a very matte finish. It's very flat.
Yes.
And so the beauty of that is what makes the paint go on so easily and adhere. But you wouldn't want it to stay like that.
Yep.
Okay, so we're just going to add wax. And the wax is kind of the equivalent of, say, a polyurethane. All right, so it's going to seal in.
But no smell. I mean, it's really great to work with.
Listen, we were painting the other day with wall paint, and we were all having to go outside and get a breath of fresh air. Yeah, huge difference. Now, you've got your clear wax on, and I always come back and wipe off just in case there's any.
Because I think when you and I have painted before, if you feel anything sticky on here, you know
Yes.
you've got excess
That's
on and
exactly
you need to
right.
wipe it clean. Okay.
That's the most common problem people have with the paint is they think with the wax more is better. That's just kind of what we always seem to think, and that is not always the case. Okay, so then if you like, you can come back with just a little bit of dark wax.
Which almost looks like tar
It does.
or black, but
It
it's
does.
going
It
to
sca-
just
it
add like
scares a lot
patina.
of people.
Yeah, okay.
All right, but don't be scared because this is what really gives your piece some character. So you're going to put the dark wax. Really what you're simulating is dirt, okay? So you're just going to put this around where...
Fake dirt.
Fake dirt, okay?
I'm going to call it patina, not dirt.
Not dirt.
Okay.
Okay, so then we're just going to come again and wipe off any excess. But you can see how that gave it some age.
I like it. So this lamp you happen to get from your mother-in-law, but when you've been out sailing or looking for things, I mean, what's the best price you've ever found on a lamp, or how much should I expect to pay for something like
Oh, if you're garage sailing, I would plan to spend less than $5 on a lamp. And don't be afraid if you find one. Sometimes we'll buy them even if we don't love the lamp base, but it has a good shade with it.
Because then you'll redo that?
Exactly.
So, which brings me to our next point, we need a shade.
It does need a shade.
Do you have any thoughts on what we can do for
I
that?
definitely have some
All
thoughts
right,
on that.
perfect, let's do it.
So if you can see right here, this is the lamp that we started with and the shade. And so this is the actual shade that came off of that lamp.
All right.
So now this is where you really make it your own. You really make it fit in your home and what you've got going in there right now. So these are just burlap sacks.
Burlap is really big right now.
It
I've
is.
seen it all over the fabric
Yes.
stores, and it's just such a great textury look.
It's got great texture. It's very inexpensive. So at a fabric store, it'll be $2 a yard.
Okay.
Easy to work with. Okay, so all you're going to do then is lay your burlap out and then wrap it around, and then we just used a handy dandy hot glue gun to glue down your seam, glue it down under and around the top.
How do you figure out the shape? That seems like it's the hardest part to me.
Hardest part to do it. It works best to lay it out flat and then lay your shade down on it, and then you can get a rough idea of the width that you're going to need to cut.
Okay.
So you can cut your strip, so you want to obviously leave some to have some overlap, but that will give you a more manageable size piece to work with. And then you're going to take that long strip and wrap it around and then start gluing around the top. So your piece will actually have, when you measure this out, it's going to roll with the shade. Okay, so it's not going to end up laying. You'll trim some once you
Okay.
get it on here.
Got it.
The other options are to do some more additional embellishing. You could make these little kind of rosettes, and you can make those out of lace. You can make them out of burlap. You can make them out of twill. Okay, so these are super simple to make.
Really? Because they don't look simple.
I promise you, Happy.
Okay. All right.
Even you can do
So
this.
cute. All right, so let me just put these to the side, and you're going to show me how to make these rosettes.
So again, you could choose any fabric. As you saw, we've done this out of burlap. We can do it out of twill. You can do it out of lace.
I love the juxtaposition of sort of this clean white look with then the burlap.
I love that too.
And making like a flower or a rosette with something that's kind of rougher.
Rough,
Yeah.
yes. I think that is one of the most beautiful ways to put your home together, where you have some things that are clean and finished and some things that are a little bit more rustic.
Yes.
Okay, so in this particular case, if you wanted to try using this type of a style, we'll show you how to make them. You could attach multiple all the way around the base.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Or you could do the kind of one larger, simple embellishment.
Okay, so show me how to
So
do this.
the easiest thing, you're just going to take your fabric, whatever you've chosen to work with, and actually just ripping it works the best. Okay, so you're going to rip it down into strips, because that is going to give you that rough edge that we want to have.
Yeah.
Okay. Then with a hot glue gun at your side, okay, a girl's best friend, you're going to twist and turn. Twist and roll is probably a better word. And as you're going around, adding hot glue dots, you'll definitely,
So basically taking the strip, making it more compact, and twisting it into this
Exactly.
circle, gluing it. And I can feel the hot glue in there. It's just dabs
just
along.
dabs.
Yep.
And being careful not to burn fingers.
Well, yeah, that happens.
It just happens. That's just the dangers of being a crafter.
It's part of our
Okay.
war. It's part of our
That's
crafting
right.
war.
Yes. So as you go around, you can see you're building it. You can build it as small or as large as you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, and you'll have glue going along. And then whip out as many of those as you want to get the design that you'd like to have.
That's really great. Thank you so much. I'm inspired. I can't wait to actually do something like this for my own house.
I'm so glad, and how quick and easy to redo something that many people would want to just get rid of.
I know, I love it. I love it. It's always a fun time here. All right, we've got our before and after here, and there is quite a difference. I
There
mean,
is.
this is a very stylized lamp, and it's just something that would look great in a family room. I'm really excited about how this turned out.
I am too, and I love that it has character to it, that it doesn't look like a lamp that everybody's going to have in their home. It really is a way to add your own personality.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you so much for today.
Yes, absolutely.
To learn more about the project we did here today and see more projects with Amanda, visit our website.